Hello everyone, welcome to Easy English for Everyone. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like and share to receive the latest videos. Now let's study together.
Hello everyone. Welcome to a story about a very exciting place, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Many people dream of going to this place. Why? Because it's a place where magic is real, strange creatures exist, and maybe, just maybe, an ordinary boy can become a hero. Our story is about a young boy named Harry Potter. Harry was not like other boys his age. He had a round face, bright green eyes, and a thin, wiry body. But the most unusual thing about him was a lightning-shaped scar on his forehead. Harry didn't know where the scar came from. He didn't know he was special. He lived with his aunt and uncle, who were mean and never told him the truth. Harry wore old clothes, slept in a small cupboard, and never felt like he belonged. But one day, everything changed. Harry heard stories about a magical school called Hogwarts. People said it was a place where young wizards learned spells, made friends, and discovered their true powers. Harry's heart started to beat faster. Could this be the place for him? Could he find out who he really was, and why he had that scar? Let's find out about Harry's adventure in the wizarding world. We will read his story in chapters. Each chapter will be short and easy to understand. We will learn new words and see how Harry faces new challenges and magical adventures. Are you ready? Let's begin. Chapter 1. A Boy Named Harry. Once upon a time, in a small, quiet town called Little Whinging, there lived a boy named Harry Potter. Harry was not like other boys his age. He had a round face, bright green eyes, and a thin, wiry body. The most unusual thing about Harry was a lightning-shaped scar on his forehead. This scar was a mystery, and Harry didn't know how he got it. Harry lived with his aunt, uncle, and cousin. His aunt was Petunia Dursley, a tall, thin woman with a horse-like face. His uncle was Vernon Dursley, a large, beefy man with a very small brain. Harry's cousin, Dudley, was a spoiled, overweight boy who loved to bully Harry. The Dursleys were not kind to Harry. They treated him like a servant and made him sleep in a tiny cupboard under the stairs. Despite the Dursleys' harsh treatment, Harry was a good boy. He was kind to animals and loved to read books. One of his favorite books was a story about a magical land called Hogwarts. Harry often dreamed about living in a place like Hogwarts, where he could be happy and free. One day, strange things started happening around the Dursleys' house. Letters began to arrive for Harry, addressed to Mr. H. Potter, the cupboard under the stairs. Uncle Vernon was furious and tried to stop the letters from reaching Harry. He burned them, hid them, and even moved the family to a remote island. But no matter what the Dursleys did, more letters kept arriving. Chapter 2. The Arrival of Hagrid. One stormy night, as the Dursleys were trying to hide from the letters, a giant man appeared at their door. His name was Hagrid, and he was the gamekeeper at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Hagrid was a friendly, bearded man with a wild, untamed look. He carried a pink umbrella and a large, hairy dog named Fong. Hagrid handed Harry a letter and said, "Happy birthday, Harry. You're a wizard." Harry was shocked. He had always felt different from other children, but he never imagined he was a wizard. The letter invited Harry to attend Hogwarts and start his magical education. Uncle Vernon was furious and tried to stop Harry from going, but Hagrid was too strong. He warned Uncle Vernon that he could make the Dursleys' house disappear with a wave of his pink umbrella. Uncle Vernon backed down, and Harry was allowed to go to Hogwarts. Chapter 3. Diagon Alley. The next day, Hagrid took Harry to Diagon Alley, a magical street hidden from the Muggles, non-magical people. Diagon Alley was a bustling place filled with shops selling everything a wizard could need. Harry was amazed by the sights and sounds. He saw shops selling wands, potions, and magical creatures. Hagrid took Harry to Gringotts, the wizarding bank, to collect his inheritance. Harry was surprised to find a small, gold key and a vault filled with gold coins. Hagrid explained that Harry's parents had left him a fortune. Harry felt a mix of excitement and sadness. He missed his parents but was grateful for their love and care. After visiting Gringotts, Harry and Hagrid went to Ollivander's, a wand shop. Mr. Ollivander, the wand maker, was a thin, elderly man with silver eyes. He measured Harry and handed him several wands to try. Finally, Harry found the perfect wand, a wand made of holly with a phoenix feather core. The wand felt warm and right in his hand. Hagrid also took Harry to buy his school supplies, including books, robes, and a cauldron. Harry was thrilled to be preparing for his new life at Hogwarts. As they left Diagon Alley, Hagrid told Harry about his parents and the dark wizard, Voldemort, who had killed them. Harry learned that he was famous in the wizarding world for surviving Voldemort's attack, which left him with the lightning-shaped scar. Chapter 4. The Journey to Hogwarts. The day finally arrived for Harry to go to Hogwarts. Hagrid took Harry to King's Cross Station and showed him how to get to platform 9 3/4. Harry had to run through a solid wall to reach the platform, which was hidden from muggles. On the other side, he found a scarlet steam engine labeled Hogwarts Express. Harry boarded the train and found an empty compartment. Soon, a girl with bushy brown hair and a boy with red hair joined him. The girl introduced herself as Hermione Granger, and the boy was Ron Weasley. Hermione was a clever and studious girl, while Ron was friendly and funny. They quickly became Harry's best friends. On the train, they met a boy named Draco Malfoy, who was snobbish and mean. Draco offered to help Harry choose his friends, but Harry refused. Draco sneered and left, and Harry, Ron, and Hermione laughed at his arrogance. As the train chugged along, they talked about their hopes and fears for Hogwarts. Hermione shared her knowledge of magic, Ron told stories about his family, and Harry shared his dreams. They ate Bertie Bott's every flavor beans and chocolate frogs, which were magical candies that came with collectible wizard cards. Chapter 5. The Sorting Hat. When the train arrived at Hogsmeade Station, they were met by Hagrid, who led the first-year students to boats that took them across a lake. The castle of Hogwarts loomed ahead, illuminated by the moonlight. Harry was awestruck by the grandeur of the castle. Inside the castle, they were greeted by Professor McGonagall, a stern but fair teacher. She led them to a room where they waited to be sorted into their houses. The houses at Hogwarts were Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, and Slytherin. Each house had its own characteristics. Gryffindor for bravery, Hufflepuff for loyalty, Ravenclaw for intelligence, and Slytherin for ambition. The sorting ceremony began, and a magical hat called the Sorting Hat was placed on each student's head. The hat sang a song and then announced the house for each student. When it was Harry's turn, the hat took a long time to decide. It considered putting Harry in Slytherin, but ultimately chose Gryffindor. Harry was relieved and joined his friends, Ron and Hermione, at the Gryffindor table. Chapter 6. Classes and Friends. At Hogwarts, Harry, Ron, and Hermione quickly settled into their new lives. They attended classes taught by various professors. Professor McGonagall taught Transfiguration, Professor Snape taught Potions, and Professor Flitwick taught Charms. Each class was filled with exciting and challenging lessons. Harry discovered that he was a natural at flying. In his first flying lesson, he caught a ball mid-air, impressing his classmates and the teacher, Madame Hooch. She suggested that Harry try out for the Gryffindor Quidditch team. Quidditch was a popular wizarding sport played on broomsticks. Harry was thrilled and joined the team as the Seeker, the player who catches the golden snitch. Hogwarts was not just about classes and sports. The castle was full of secrets and mysteries. Harry, Ron, and Hermione often explored the castle, discovering hidden passages and rooms. They also visited the library, where Hermione spent hours reading about magical creatures and spells. One day, they found a mysterious book in the library called the Monster Book of Monsters. The book was alive and tried to bite them, but they managed to tame it with a spell. They laughed about their adventure and felt closer as friends. Chapter 7. The Forbidden Forest. One evening, Harry and his friends were caught out of bounds by Filch, the caretaker, and his cat, Mrs. Norris. They were given detention and sent to the Forbidden Forest with Hagrid. The Forbidden Forest was a dark and dangerous place, home to many magical creatures. Hagrid led them into the forest, where they encountered a centaur named Firenze. Firenze was a wise and gentle creature who warned them about a dark presence in the forest. Harry saw a hooded figure drinking the blood of a unicorn. He was terrified but managed to escape with the help of Firenze. After the incident, Harry was determined to find out more about the dark figure. He confided in Ron and Hermione, and they decided to investigate together. They visited the library and found a book about dark wizards. Harry learned that Voldemort was still alive and seeking a way to return to full power. Chapter 8. The Mirror of Erist. One night, Harry stumbled upon a mysterious mirror in a hidden room. The mirror was called the Mirror of Erist, and it showed the deepest desires of the person looking into it. Harry saw his parents standing beside him, smiling and happy. He was overjoyed but also sad, knowing that he could never have this moment in real life. Harry visited the mirror every night, losing himself in the image of his parents. Professor Dumbledore, the headmaster, discovered Harry's visits and explained that the mirror could be dangerous. It showed only what a person wanted, not what they should have. Dumbledore removed the mirror, and Harry learned an important lesson about facing reality. Chapter 9. The Sorcerer's Stone. As the school year progressed, Harry, Ron, and Hermione discovered a secret about a powerful magical object called the Philosopher's Stone. The stone could grant eternal life and turn metal into gold. They learned that the stone was hidden in Hogwarts, protected by powerful enchantments. Harry and his friends believed that Voldemort was after the stone and wanted to steal it. They decided to find the stone before Voldemort could. They sneaked into the restricted area of the castle and faced several challenges. First, they had to get past a three-headed dog named Fluffy, which was guarding a trapdoor. Hagrid had told them that the dog could be calmed with music. Harry, Ron, and Hermione played a magical flute, and Fluffy fell asleep. They climbed through the trapdoor and found themselves in a series of rooms filled with puzzles and obstacles. In one room, they had to solve a riddle to find the correct potion to drink. Hermione, being clever, solved the riddle and helped them choose the right potion. In another room, they had to play a life-sized game of chess. Ron, who was an excellent chess player, sacrificed himself to let Harry and Hermione advance. Finally, they reached the room where the Philosopher's Stone was kept. Harry found Voldemort's spirit inside the body of Professor Quirrell, the defense against the dark arts teacher. Voldemort demanded that Harry give him the stone. Harry refused and fought back, using his courage and the power of his love for his parents. Chapter 10. The End of the Year. Harry, Ron, and Hermione managed to defeat Voldemort and protect the Philosopher's Stone. They were praised by the teachers and awarded house points for their bravery. Harry was especially honored for his courage and determination. At the end of year feast, Professor Dumbledore announced that Gryffindor had won the House Cup. The students cheered, and Harry, Ron, and Hermione were overjoyed. They had not only saved the stone but also formed a strong bond of friendship. As the school year came to an end, Harry reflected on his journey. He had faced many challenges and learned a lot about himself and the magical world. He was excited to return to Hogwarts the following year and continue his adventures. Chapter 11: A New Beginning. The summer holidays passed quickly, and Harry returned to the Dursleys' house. Although the Dursleys were still unkind, Harry was no longer afraid of them. He knew that he had a place where he belonged, and that place was Hogwarts. Harry, Ron, and Hermione wrote letters to each other, sharing their summer adventures and planning for the new school year. They were eager to return to Hogwarts and continue their magical education. On the first day of September, Harry, Ron, and Hermione boarded the Hogwarts Express once again. As the train pulled out of the station, Harry looked out the window and smiled. He was ready for whatever adventures lay ahead. And so, the story of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone came to an end, but the adventures of Harry, Ron, and Hermione were just beginning. They had many more magical moments and challenges to face, and they were ready to face them together. Conclusion: Harry Potter's journey at Hogwarts was filled with magic, friendship, and bravery. He learned that the power of love and courage could overcome even the darkest of forces. Harry, Ron, and Hermione's bond of friendship grew stronger with each challenge they faced, and they were ready to take on the world together. For beginners learning English, the story of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is a perfect introduction to the magical world of wizards and witches. It is a story of hope, friendship, and the power of believing in oneself. Whether you are a beginner or an advanced learner, the world of Harry Potter has something to offer everyone. So, grab a book, sit back, and let the magic of Harry Potter take you on an unforgettable adventure.